Dear Gorilla-san, please stop trolling me and cock teasing me for the Gintoki flashback. Please stop cock teasing me, because that 30 seconds in this episode, 12 minutes and 30 seconds to like 13 minutes in this episode. I want to know Gintoki's past so fucking bad. Like, this episode was kind of like a bitch slap to the readers or watchers of Gintama. That's really what this episode was. Let's just be real here. I'm willing to bet the reason why this arc was made to begin with is probably because the mangaka of the series wanted to troll his fans even more. And it's like, you know what? I hear it all the time. You all want a Gintoki flashback. You want a Gintoki flashback. You want these flashbacks. And then you have it where the mangaka reveals in this episode or chapter, whatever chapter this was at, is like, oh yeah, the mangaka still doesn't know what he wants to do as a flashback for the backstory of these characters. And I'm like, fuck. So, it's so annoying because we get these tiny little pieces throughout the entire series of Gintama, and then we get to see it like a scene in this episode, like, oh my god, that 30 seconds, the animation in those 30 seconds with the war. Like, we find out some very shocking information in just those 30 seconds. Like, we find out that Gintoki and Katsura, they were on the rear guard, and the rear guard is assumed to be like a suicide mission or, you know, a suicidal squad. That's kind of what the rear guard was. Like, when you're in the rear guard and you're protecting everybody while they're escaping, that's suicidal. It straight up is. And Gintoki and Katsura's forces, 300, was versus 3,000. They were fighting 3,000 Bakufu. And I'm like, bro, they were fighting 3,000 people. They were just 300. They were the rear guard, and they were having to protect everybody that was falling back. My god, it just, the scenes when we finally get to see some backstory of this, it's so fucking epic. And the animation in that scene, definitely one of the best animation, like one of the best uses of animation in Gintama thus far since its return with this season 3. Now, to be real here, this episode, as I already said, clearly this episode is meant to cock tease us, fans of Gintama that want the backstory of Gintoki, because the mangaka takes little snide comments throughout this entire episode, and says like, oh yeah, you know, we haven't figured out like a flashback for Gintoki. They also, the mangaka seems to reveal like a new fifth person, and this is something that is very interesting. So, I heard in some of the comments that Gintama right now is in a very serious arc in the manga. Now, I'm not a manga reader, like I haven't read up to where that is or anything like that, and I have yet to see this in the manga from what I have read. So, this little segment in this episode, when they were talking about this new person, this fifth person, it made me feel like this is actually going to have a lot more meaning than it's made led us to believe. Like, in this episode, this person that they're trying to remember that they used to fight in the war with, that was kind of like an assistant, this dude didn't have his face shown at all throughout the entire episode. Which is very strange and weird if you think about it. And the way he was introduced, it makes me assume that maybe this person is very vital to the series, because Gintama, it has a way with playing with you if you don't know something is serious or if something's going to stick and be a part of the real storyline. But the way that was done, especially with how this episode was kind of talking about the past, it made me feel like whoever this person was, that Katsura, Gintoki, and all them, and they all know of this person in the past, like they met him at one time or point, it makes me assume that this dude is actually a real person that probably helped them in the war, a survivor. And if he is, who is this person? Where has he been? I mean, what's he been doing? That's a lot of questions I have right now. So, I just hope that with the way this was set up, especially with this episode, I hope the mangaka has, at the very least, planned out a flashback arc or something. I really want an arc dedicated to that. I do. I always wanted to see that. When I was watching marathoning Gintama, I wanted to see a flashback of what happened to Gintoki. I wanted to find out. We've gotten bits and pieces, and I just wanted to see what really happened, so hopefully that does happen very soon. But anyways, this episode kind of, I guess, parodies Crocodile Basket. I think that's what this episode's trying to parody, because if you look at certain scenes in this episode, it's basketball, and when basketball comes to mind, I'm like, you know, Crocodile Basket. And also a couple of Chibits last week told me that is probably going to get into that type of parody. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to take this parody, because does that mean we're going to have like a basketball match? Like, is that what we're going to be getting? Like, is this entire episode, next episode, going to be like some form of like set for a basketball match going to be happening. That'd be very interesting if it does happen, because I mean, it'd be pretty cool. Now I want to ask a quick question, okay? I don't want to be spoiled, but I want to ask a very serious question here. In the manga, has the writer already talked about Gintoki's past, like, you know, explained it more? Because I really want to know. And if the manga does, I'm really tempted to just really read to that point, because I want to know badly. Out of all the characters I've seen recently, I just want to know more about Gintoki. I really do. And so, if any of you manga readers could let me know without spoiling, please let me know, is, you know, Gintoki's past revealed in the manga? Because I heard that you guys are in a serious arc. So, please let me know. Anyways, overall episode very funny, a lot of comedy. It was great from start to finish. It had these very good moments about it with the banter between our characters. Kotzer finally got some screen time once again. The other, you know, characters got screen time. It's very fun. And the trollage in this episode, too fucking funny. Kotzer's long backstory flashbacks, just damn, I love those. I love Kotzer's flashbacks. They're probably one of the best when it comes to this series. So that's about it. I mean, Gintama, this episode 271, freaking hype. It was so hype, like, oh my god. You know, I gotta rewatch this episode again. Like, it was so fun. It was so fun. I'm gonna go rewatch this episode again. So, tell me your thoughts. What was your favorite scene in this episode? What was your favorite comedy segment? What was your favorite moment when it came to the animation? Let me know in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibit out.